Hey, what's going on, guys? We are back with the fourth episode of the Minecraft Advancement Hunter series, currently at 45 of the advancements, which is pretty good. So for today, I have a few goals that I want to try to get done. First, I really want to find a trial chamber. I believe you can get a map from a villager, so we're going to go ahead and get a trial chamber map and go through the trials and see what we can get. I also would love to find a trail ruin, which would allow us to use a brush to dust off a bunch of suspicious blocks and get a few achievements done. And if I run into an igloo, then I would love to do the zombie doctor challenge so that I don't have to go do that on my own. And I also want to be keeping up with a few background advancements such as taming cats, breeding mobs, and eating certain foods. So let's get right into this. Alright, so I was actually just going to use my pie chart to try to find a bell, which would tell me where the nearest village is, but I see on the right that I actually have a trial spawner nearby. I know I could probably just go to a village and get a map, but I feel like it'd be a lot more fun if I tried to pinpoint it with just my F3 menu. So I'm going to go ahead and try and see if I can find the direction and distance of this thing, and maybe we can just mine into a trial chamber. Okay, alright, so it appears that it is 4 chunks in this direction here. So I should be able to pinpoint pretty much the exact chunk that it's in, and maybe I can just mine straight down into it. So let's go ahead and see if I can do that. I'm guessing the trial chamber might actually just be under this hill right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can just mine straight into it and see what happens.
5 minutes later.
Wait, hold on. I was actually about to admit defeat, and then we just... No way! I was literally mining up to the surface, and then I just bump into this, which... This is the trial chamber. Oh my goodness, let's go! Oh, little firework. Okay, so I've only ever done a trial chamber one time before. I kind of know how it works. I believe these urns have, like, some loot in them sometimes, but for the most part, it's kind of like a wave-based mini-game. So the spawners spawn like 4 waves of mobs. Once you defeat it, it gives you a key, and then you can use that key on a chest to get a multitude of items. I think the most important thing we're looking for is like a hammer core or something, which I've heard is extremely rare, and I don't actually know which chest has it. So we're just going to go ahead and see what we can do through this place. Alright, so let's see what these things have. So some arrows and some bricks. Ooh, some emeralds and some iron. That's actually pretty good. And a pottery sherd. Sherd? Shard? Sherd? What? Ooh, okay. This looks like our first mob room. So I'm going to go ahead and hop up here and activate the spawner by going near it. And we'll see how it goes. Oh, jeez. And they drop these breeze rods, which I don't actually remember what they're exactly used for. I think you can brew potions with them and maybe something else. But, it looks like we defeated that, and it gave us some potatoes. Okay. Oh. Alright. Is that everything? Okay. Ooh, nice. Okay, so we got a trial key. So I know there are, like, different leveled chests. I just don't exactly know how it works yet, because this is a pretty new version, and I have not done many trial chambers. I'm pretty sure the spawners also reset after around 30 minutes, so if I don't get what I want from here, then I can just come back another time. Ugh, these things are beating me up right now. So I read online that changing the difficulty probably does nothing except make it more fun, but some people believe that it actually gives better drops, and I've only taken like half a heart of damage total, so I might as well bump it up to hard mode and see if we get better loot. That is not better loot. I feel like I remember seeing a red chest, or a red crate. Maybe requires a better key, like a master key or something. So I'll keep my eye out for that. Ooh, okay, so I can actually just mine through this wall, but this is, I think, the best chest. You can see that it has like 3 faces and it has red eyes. I kind of can see inside of it, so like an enchanted golden apple, emeralds, and maybe there's the mace core in there, so hopefully we can get some of these crate keys. Alright, here we go. Well, that was easy. Guys, this was a very bad idea. Are you serious? What are these rewards, dude? I'm on hard mode and I'm getting chicken. Alright, let's go. Okay, finally, we got another key. Sweet. Now let's go up top here and see what happens. Okay, let's see. Dude, are we for real? Like, I'm fighting actual demons for pieces of bread. It does nothing. Okay, I figured. I'm probably going to need a better key for that. So I might as well use one of these and see what I get. Okay. Guster, banner, pattern, and an iron axe. Not exactly what I was looking for. Alright, let's see what we get here. Oh my goodness. Alright, this is my last key for now. Okay. Ooh. Oh yeah, I forgot. You can actually use ominous bottles to get bad omen. And the more bad omen you have, I believe it might make it harder and the rewards better. So the next time we do this, I'm going to try to get bad omen. Maybe a few tiers. I don't know if that's how it works. But I'm going to see if I can make this as hard as possible so that we can get the best rewards. Guys, this was a very bad idea. Okay, so I just read online that if you have bad omen, then you can actually transform these waves into, I believe it's called an omen trial or an ominous trial. And that actually gives you better loot but harder mobs. So I think we can just have multiple levels of bad omen, and the more you have, the better the rewards, and then you can actually get those red ominous keys. Are you kidding me right now? I don't think that's supposed to be in a trial chamber. Ooh, nice. Alright, let's see what we get from here. I mean, it's okay. I feel like once we have the bad omen effect, we're gonna get a lot better stuff from these chests. Okay, it looks like I found a lot more spawners, so I'm just gonna spawn them all at once and see what happens. Can we stop with the bread, please? He took my bread! Okay, there we go. That's pretty good. Alright, sweet. Another key. And another key. Okay, this room was pretty good. And some baked potatoes. One baked potato, to be exact. Alright, let's go ahead and see what we get from these keys. Oh, I guess there's some pillagers down here, so that's kind of perfect. I think we're gonna get an ominous bottle from killing these guys, so let's go ahead and see. Yeah, I actually did. Ooh, Bad Omen 5. Maybe that's the highest? I actually have no idea. I'll have to look into that, but that actually might just save us a bunch of time. Alright, so in the end, we actually managed to get a decent amount of stuff, a good amount of emeralds, which I hopefully will use in the future. We got a few banner patterns, some wind charges, some honeycombs. Nothing too crazy, but I'm definitely excited about this Bad Omen 5 ominous bottle. So maybe in a little bit, we'll go back to that trial chamber with the Bad Omen 5 and see if we can get some of those ominous keys. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and craft 2 brushes. And these can be used to brush away suspicious blocks, such as suspicious sand and suspicious gravel. And if you do that, you'll actually get an item from it. We're looking for a few items. I believe the armor trim we're looking for is Wayfinder. And we can also get a sniffer egg from, I believe, suspicious sand. So I'm going to go look around for either the underwater ruins or some trail ruins and see what we can do. Alright, so on the left you can see that my biome is an old growth birch forest. So this is one of the biomes that spawns the trail ruins. So I'm going to be looking around for just a little bit of terracotta that's kind of sticking out of the ground. hopefully I can find that and we can get some Wayfinder stuff. Ooh, okay. Sweet. So I actually went over about 1,000 more blocks into an old growth pine taiga, and this is exactly what I was looking for. It's just a couple of blocks and it's really hard to see, but this is actually the start of a trail ruin. So essentially what it is it's an underground abandoned city that is completely filled in with blocks that you have to mine out. I believe pretty much all the blocks you have to mine are just gravel and dirt, but some of them are suspicious blocks, and you can actually brush them away for loot. So let's get started. Alright, so it's a little hard to tell, but this block and this block are actually suspicious blocks. Sometimes I'm going to break some and it's just gonna happen, because it's a little hard to see sometimes, but essentially you just do this and you brush off the block. You can see what you're gonna get before it actually comes out. Sometimes it's completely random, but yeah, there's another advancement. Ooh, okay, this is an armor trim. I believe we're looking for Wayfinder, and that's the Shaper one. So I believe there's 4 different types that spawn in the trail ruins, and I need one specific one. So let's see if we can get it. Ooh, that could be pretty helpful. Oh, come on, please be Wayfinder. No. Okay. Come on, this is the one. It's gotta be. Please. No, it's the 3rd one. I need the last one. Ugh. Alright, we got 3 chances right here. Let's get the Wayfinder. No luck. Please, 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 please. This might be it. Yes, we got the Wayfinder trim finally. I actually think this might be like the last room that I have in this entire place. Like, check this out. Like, these are absolutely awesome. Look at these rooms here. Like, this would be a pretty cool base if you kind of cleaned it up a little bit. But we finally got what we were looking for. I went through this many blocks, and this is the cool stuff that we ended up getting. We ended up getting 5 armor trims before the one we wanted, but it doesn't matter, we got it in the end, so we'll put that in there for later. Alright, so what I'm doing here is I'm essentially lowering my render distance so that only mobs spawn around me. Like, you can see I now have a ton of mobs around me, and since I'm in a river biome, a lot of the mobs are gonna be drowned zombies, so hopefully I can get a trident and a bunch of shells while I'm at it. How did a chicken spawn in the river? This doesn't even make sense. Ooh, okay, finally. This guy has a shell, so every time we kill one of the shell zombies, it drops a shell 100% of the time. So we now have 1 Nautilus shell. I'm not sure if I have any back at the base, but I think we're gonna need 8 by the end of this. Ooh, okay. First trident zombie. Oh, geez, he's nailing me from over there. Hopefully this guy drops. And it does not look like he dropped the trident. Let's see. I don't think that guy dropped it either. It's becoming nighttime, and it looks like I've gathered quite the crowd here. But unfortunately, not a single one of them has a shell or a trident, so they're all pretty much useless. Let's see if this is the one. No, but there is another one, so hopefully, I don't know, 5th time's the charm, 6th. Let's see. And there we go, we actually got the trident. Awesome. It has like no durability, so I'm gonna go get a mending book just in case, because I really don't want to have to go through this whole process again. Alright, so I don't actually have the coordinates to the village with the mending villager. Plus it was a little expensive, so I'm just gonna go through the process again of trying to get another villager to have mending. Hopefully it doesn't take more than 10 minutes. Oh my gosh, are you serious? That was like the 5th one. Okay, that is so perfect. Wow, I actually think that was like the 5th or 6th trade, and we got mending for a pretty cheap price as well, so that's absolutely amazing. Alright, mending and channeling on the trident, and the anvil's gone. I'm just going to put this in my offhand, give it a little bit of durability, and then we're just gonna have to wait for some thunder. Probably in another episode, because it does thunder about every 6 hours in real life. So we'll probably have to wait for that. Alright, so I took a look at this Bad Omen 5 Ominous Bottle, and I actually researched that it is the max level that you can get. So I'm gonna go ahead and head back to the trial chamber and activate this and see what kind of stuff we can get. Alright, so I don't exactly know how this works, but I'm gonna go ahead and put on my chest plate. And I don't know if it's a splash bottle or a drink, but okay, it's a drink. Alright, here we go. I guess this technically makes this an ominous trial. So let's go ahead and see what this does. Ooh, okay. So I believe the spawner now changed to red. So we'll see what this does. Probably should have done this one at a time, but whatever, we'll see. And they all have punch, which sucks. I can't get over to them. Alright, I finished the bottom one. And I got 2 pieces of steak. Come on. What is this? Oh, strength potion's actually kind of nice. What is that thing? I'm really confused. Is there something in the ceiling, or am I just going crazy? I don't know what's going on. And I got potatoes. Really? Are you serious? Alright, rather than complain, let's just keep going and see if we can get one of these keys. Wow, that was quick. Ooh, yes! Okay. An ominous trial key. That is exactly what we're looking for. Oh, and my bad omen effect actually turned into trial omen, which is pretty cool. Ooh, nice. Okay, we got another key. Sweet. I just want as many of these as possible, because even if we don't get the core, I'm guessing the loot's still pretty good from them. Alright, so I remember marking this room specifically. I'm pretty sure this is the room with 4 spawners in it, so I'm going to use my potions here and see how many keys we can get. All of them at once. All 4. Why not? Guys, this was a very bad idea. It's just chaos in here. Where did that thing just go? Ooh, okay. We got another one of the keys. That's good. And potatoes. Oh, yes. We got another key. Awesome. Alright, I think you guys have waited long enough. We've got 5 of these trial keys. These ominous trial keys, actually. And we're gonna see what we can get. I'm pretty sure the main thing that I need is the core of the mace, or whatever it's called. Let's go ahead and see. I can't really see in there. I see a diamond chest plate, maybe an iron block, some diamonds, an ominous bottle. I don't know. Let's just go ahead and send it. That's another advancement. Ooh, another disc. Okay. Nothing too great. That disc looks pretty cool though. So, let's go ahead and open this next one. I'm not even gonna look what's in it. Let's just get it. A lot of emeralds, but I don't really think I need any of this. Alright, here we go. 3rd try. See if we can get this mace core. I mean, an armor trim's pretty cool. And that's a pretty good chest plate. I actually need that. Nice. Okay. We got another one. Alright. I actually don't know what the mace core looks like, so I'm just gonna open this and hope I see something I don't know. Ooh! Enchanted golden apple's always good. Diamond block's also pretty good. The last one. Let's see if we can get the mace core. I don't actually know if it's even the mace core or what it's called, so if I've been messing this up the entire time, I'm really sorry. But let's see what we can get. Diamonds, enchanted book, and that's it. Alright, I'm just gonna head back to the base and wrap up this episode This episode has been absolutely amazing. I learned quite a lot, actually. And ooh, there's actually a pillager outpost right there, which is so perfect, because I can just get more ominous bottles for the next time. So, yeah. Oh, geez. Why are there so many mobs at my base? Alrighty, guys. That's gonna wrap it up for episode 4 of the Advancement Hunter series. I think this is my favorite episode yet. I did not know how trial chambers work before this, but now that I do, I'm extremely excited to continue with them. We're gonna see what we can get from these ominous chests next episode. But for now, I think we've made pretty good progress, and we're ready for the next episode. So, thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.